So for the next step, we're going to be doing faces and hair. This step is really important for establishing kind of the personality of your drawing. Faces and hair can add an expression or a flair to a sketch that really helps you convey the attitude of your design. But they can also be really difficult to achieve in that. So I'm just going to do some quick techniques to kind of show a process that's easy to do that conveys a certain type of mood or attitude. So I'll start out by drawing the shape of my head, which is kind of like a rectangle with like more curved top. This would be like the top of the head, like the skull. And then you can draw in a chin. I'm going to do kind of a more labored process just to kind of show you how I get to a quicker process. But I'll throw in the parts of the face to establish that proportion. And you should practice this so that you can get quicker at drawing a head and a face. Split the face in two so you're balancing it properly. I like to throw the ears in a little bit lower towards the jaw because if you look at your head in a mirror, that's kind of they're kind of in the middle of the head. And then basically I like to throw the eye level in just based at the top of the ears, and then I'll go to the mouth next because the mouth is kind of like the center of the face. I know people say that the eyes are, but I always start with the mouth. It kind of helps establish the proportion from bottom to top. You can do lip shape any way that you want. You can have big lips or small lips, it doesn't really matter. I just do like a general mouth. And then your nose, your eye. Again, eye shape is up to you. I'm just drawing this generally to kind of show you where to place everything. It changes when I do the faster sketch. Eyebrow, cheekbone. I like to contour the jaw a little bit more. And you can go back and erase anything that's extra that you don't need. If that's the center, she'll have look apart. I'm drawing her hair behind her ears. With hair, it's really about quick gestural lines because you don't want it to look too labor intensive. The hair can kind of end up looking frizzy. And make sure you throw in a neck too. A little bit of shading. So that's like a very labor-intensive process to do a face. There was a lot of line work, and it wasn't the quickest thing to do. And when you're doing a fast sketch, when you're designing, you're probably not going to be spending that much time on the face. So what I like to do for a face when I'm drawing really quickly is to establish those things that we talked about, but kind of do it in as little pencil strokes as possible. So if I'm doing a head, I'll start with the head and the neck. And then I throw in the ears, a little bit of hair. I go to the mouth, the nose, and then the eye. And then you can just do gestural lines for contouring. For hair, again, if her hair is behind her ears, just throw in a quick couple lines to establish that. I'll do some more faces. That concludes our first unit. I showed you guys how to do a basic framework of the body, how to fill that in to kind of get an idea for the musculature and how the body looks in reality. And then from there, I showed you guys how to do simple, quick hands and feet and faces and hair. So this will give you a really good base to move on to sketching for design. I would encourage you to practice those things that we did as much as possible until you start to get into a flow where those things become a lot easier for you, so that for the next step you feel comfortable in applying clothing to those basic sketching techniques.